Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I'm just out having a stroll after lunch today. I went to the Indian restaurant. It was really good. I had their buffet. It's an amazing restaurant. I did a video on it. If you look through my queue, you'll see it. Or if you go to my playlists, it's in my list of outdoor adventures. So definitely check it out. Anyways, today is Imbolc, and I want to say happy Imbolc to all of you. For those of you who may not have seen, yesterday I did a video about Imbolc as well, and I walked in the park, and there's a lot there, so definitely check that out. But today here we are at Imbolc, and you know what I love is that it's very mild today. Take a look here at our sky. You can see how blue it is. Now the trees are still bare, but there's definitely a gentleness in the air now. And I really am enjoying it. As you can see, I just have my jacket on. I'm not all bundled up. It's pretty mild out here. I mean, it's cool, but it's not cold, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I thought we'd take a stroll up and see the Moon Temple today. So come on along. And here's my mystic Moon Temple up ahead. You know, it's funny, this temple is situated literally, as you can see, in the middle of a neighborhood surrounded by houses. But you know what? I come here and actually do rituals, and there's never a soul around. I've never seen anybody walk out of their house. I never seen anybody even look out a window. And so I like to come here, particularly on the nights of the full moon, and just kind of do a little ritual here. Right now they're doing repairs on the temple, and I think they're going to wait until it gets a little warmer to finish them. As you can see, it's coned off here, which makes me very sad because I really love the Moon Temple. But you know, it's just a wonderful place to come. It's neoclassic Greco-Roman architecture. And I think that the pagans of old very much worked in a very similar sort of environment. As you can see, it's perfect inside. It's got circles, so it's a circle, so you can easily cast a circle. I love it. So I thought today I'd just sit out here and just meditate a little while. You know, it's great to read about astrology, but the way you really get to know astrology is to go out and be under the stars. Like right now, our great sun, the great illuminator of the Zodiac, is right above us here. And there you can see it up in the sky, shining bright. Isn't that amazing? The sun's moving closer to the west now, which is back over that way. But the interesting thing is that it's not as low in the sky, and it's not moving to the west as quickly. The days are getting longer. And tonight I'll watch, and over this way is the east. And I can see the moon rise when it rises. We'll see it rise up, and it'll cross high in the sky and pass over the Moon Temple here until it'll move to the west and set. Now see, probably the average person walking down the street doesn't even realize the patterns of the sun and the moon. You know, it's so interesting. I've done this experiment before. Some night when the moon is giant and full, walk out in your own neighborhood and observe it. And stay out on the street a while. You'll see sometimes people will be out walking their dogs or just strolling. And just casually, as they pass you by, say, "Isn't that moon incredible tonight?" And watch what will happen. Most people go, "What? Huh? Where?" They don't even notice that the moon's in the sky, and they have no clue that it's even full. This is a sign of a society that has lost its connection to the natural energies. And so by studying the mystic science of astrology, we can start to be more in tune with that energy. By studying the ancient religion of Wicca, we become more in tune with the earth. The earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, they're all connected. And I think it's so important that we remember that we're all part of that cosmos. This is why I love my sacred moon temple here, even though it's under construction. It's a place that I come that is sacred. It allows me to connect with the energy of the sun and the moon. I scan the skies here, and I know the star patterns. The last few nights, at least here in, the eastern coast of the United States, we've had a very interesting alignment in the skies. The moon and Venus have been literally right next to each other. So there's the moon and Venus and nothing else in the sky. It's very powerful. And Venus is sometimes called the morning star. It's actually a planet, but it looks like a star. But I've been observing that. I haven't been able to film it, unfortunately, because we've had some cloud cover. But I have noticed that. And I thought to myself, there are signs in the stars. Now, what does that mean? The moon and Venus being right next to each other. Well, the moon is the great illuminator of the zodiac. The moon tends to deal, though, with our inner psychic self, our inner person. And I believe that Venus being next to the moon deals with how we feel about ourselves. Venus is about the emotional self. And I believe that that sign in the sky is a reminder, and it's a reminder that says, love yourself. You are loved by the universe. Know that you are loved. Look within and let that love be part of your life. Isn't that interesting? At least that's the message I got. Now, you might get a different message, and that's wonderful. I'm just curious, have any of you seen that interesting alignment in the sky at night? Lady Angela lives in Oklahoma, and she's seen it as well. And she called me up. She said, Lord Bob, did you see this? And I said, it's amazing. I've been looking at it. So we're both fascinated by it. Lady Angela loves astrology as much as I do. And we're always calling each other up saying, oh my goodness, look at the transits today. By the way, if you haven't had a chance, you need to pop over to Lady Angela's channel. I'll put the link below. And subscribe to her YouTube. Let her know you love her. She does wonderful astrology pages. Over at her website, which is rarewiccaspells.com, you can buy astrology spells and all sort of things. This information about the zodiac signs. I tell you, you definitely need to go over to rarewiccaspells.com and check out her stuff. It'll help you on your journey. Definitely. So as you can see, being aware of the patterns of the sun and the moon, they help you bring order to your life. They help you to understand the world around you. They help you to understand your place in the cosmos. I love watching the sun and the moon and the stars. They give me an awareness of that there's order. You know, a lot of people say, oh, life is chaos. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes it is. But astrology helps you to make a little bit of sense of the chaos. You know, every day I study the star charts. But like today, I realized, I said, well, you know, it's good to study the charts, but I have to go out and study it in reality. You know, the ancient astrologers, they used to take their students up on top of temples. They had entire temples to astrology in ancient Babylon. And on the rooftops, they had set up their telescopes, their tracking equipment, and they studied the patterns and charted it all. That's what we need to do again. We need a university of astrology where we actually take people out under the stars. Nowadays, everybody studies astrology from their armchair or their computer. Nothing wrong with that. It works. But I long for the days of really studying the patterns. They now have cell phone apps that you can take out and point at the sky and see what the star patterns are. I'm going to get one of those for my phone. And we'll go out for a walk under the stars and we'll test it out. But today I'm just out feeling the sun, sensing the shift of the energy. Now I know a lot of you where you are, it's freezing cold, it's still snowing. You're saying, Bob, I don't see no spring coming. Just remember that even if you're in a place where it's not as gentle as it is here, there's still that energy underneath that ice, underneath that snow. So have faith and know that at Imbolc, life is being renewed. That's right. Well, guys, I'm so glad you came along on this walk with me today. I've had a great time, and I hope you've had fun too. So, you know, if you haven't seen my horoscopes video, I put out 2 videos a day, and earlier today we put out our horoscopes video for today. I covered all 12 zodiac signs and talked about the astrology. So definitely check that out. And we're going to keep doing that. Every day we'll have horoscopes, and then we'll have a teaching video. Some days my days get a little crazy, and I may not get them out as soon as I'd like, but Psychic Bob's doing the best he can for you, and I hope that you're enjoying them. You guys seem to really enjoy them. So I'm just glad you came along today, and I hope you'll keep it here at Spirit Channel. By the way, if you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll help Psychic Bob out by liking it, favoriting it, share it with your friends, and if you haven't done so, hit subscribe, be part of our channel. And if you're a subscriber, check your subscription to make sure still subscribe. I'm sure glad you're here. Well, I'm going to stroll out and look at that beautiful sun. So mote it be.